Hi, my name is Hunter Sego, and I am 11, and I'm from Madison, Indiana, and my favorite hobby or sport is soccer.
Hunter is very active. He does every sport imaginable. Hunter's first word was not mommy or daddy, it was ball. Hunter was diagnosed with diabetes on 8/23/04. It's a date that is similar to a child's birth. You never forget it.
I didn't know what it was, and they said it was a deadly disease, and I just remember having nightmares about me dying and that someone wouldn't help me, and I would be in a coma and I would die.
First 2 or 3 weeks, it was like bringing home a newborn baby. Am I doing this right? Am I gonna hurt him? Is he gonna wake in the middle of the night? But I think I was up every 2 hours, every hour. My husband and I set an alarm clock to check his sugar, because my greatest fear is I'd walk in and I had lost him. A lot of praying over your child when they have diabetes. The school issue is a big issue. For us, when Hunter moved to the 3rd grade, it was apparent to all of us that the one shot in the morning and the one shot in the evening was not going to work. We were told that if Hunter wanted to stay at his school and receive insulin during the day, that he needed to leave the school and go to the school that had a full-time nurse. And that just didn't seem kosher with me. When I was having issues with the school, first I got on the internet and was looking up discrimination, because I knew it was totally wrong to ask us to leave our school. I called our 1-800-diabetes number, and I got this packet of information that the ADA sent us, and they gave me to Crystal. And I initiated a 504 process, and that they wouldn't agree to any accommodations. They wouldn't agree to letting him test his blood sugar by himself. They wouldn't agree to allowing him to have insulin at school unless my mother, myself, or my husband left work to come to give him insulin.
It was just really frustrating, because I wish I could just stay at school and learn and not miss 1/3 of the school day. I'd have to sit in the office waiting for my mom or dad to come and give me insulin.
My biggest fear was, when I was a parent, is when I dropped off my child at school. You know, we had a ritual. We hugged, we kissed goodbye, and I drove off and I cried, because I never knew if that was going to be the last time I saw Hunter, because I didn't know if there was a plan in place to take care of him. I found that there were several other parents in our state that were having issues with diabetes in the school setting. We contacted the office and we did a Safe at School campaign in Indiana. My son and I both testified at the House hearing and at the Senate hearing, and we talked about our struggles at school.
I had to go and write a speech and go around and show the legislators my pump and tell them about diabetes, and once they got the idea what diabetes was, they're like, oh, and I think that helped a lot.
A lot of people didn't understand the difference between type 1 and type 2, and in fact a couple of representatives and senators pictured, you know, these big long needles and syringes.
It was very complex at times. We had to call some representatives and walk up to their house and knock on the door and ask to please vote for this, and well, it all paid off.
On May 4th, 2007, our governor signed it into law, and now thousands of children in Indiana can test their sugar anywhere on school grounds. They are afforded the right to have caregivers who are not school nurses trained. It's changed our lives. We have some very supportive coaches. This football coach is wonderful, absolutely outstanding. And he recognizes when Hunter's sugar's low. But we've had coaches who've made comments to us, you know, when Hunter gets older, he's not going to be able to play sports because of his diabetes. We've had one coach ask Hunter if he would please take off his insulin pump so he would look like the other children. And my son didn't tell me that for about 2 weeks, because he said, "Mom, I knew your head would spin off."
Well, it just made me so angry because when he said that, I wanted to say, don't you know I want to be like other kids? It's very hard and frustrating. Some people just don't get it, and you just get really frustrated, and it's hard on the kid because they don't like being noticed for diabetes. It's very hard.
It's important for me to be an advocate because it's a way that I can help my son and other children and other families realize that diabetes is just a part of them. It doesn't define who they are. And I just think that's why we're here, why we advocate, just to enlighten folks about what diabetes is and how they can make a difference too. Hunter is just like everyone else. He just happens to be a boy with diabetes.
When I see other kids with diabetes, it just makes me want to help find a cure. I pray every night that there will be. And if it doesn't work every day, it just makes me want to keep pushing for the cure.